RuneScape and old school RuneScape are two sides to the same coin, some people say. Though in reality, it's more of a diverging timeline sort of situation where the games split at a single point in time and are now two different realities. RuneScape kept evolving, and its lore, world, and mechanics have continued advancing at a fast pace. Old school RuneScape, however, stayed true to the nostalgic charm of the game, where its gameplay has remained nearly the same since its divergence, and the world has evolved down a different path. Whether you find one version of the game better than the other is an opinion, and no side is more correct than the other. As someone who's been playing since RuneScape Classic, I personally think both versions of the game are just, well, RuneScape. I think both games are good games and can coexist, and the communities from both should do what they can to help both games flourish. There is no reason for discourse between the two games, and I actively encourage players to play both games. And that is what I'm going to start doing. Though old school RuneScape has always appealed to me as a game, I never wanted to restart my progress when the game split. But with friends in both of these games' timelines, it's time for me to try going from RuneScape to RuneScape, experiencing the alternate timeline. Hello again everyone, Kamori here, and welcome back to RuneScape, this time for episode 44. A nice little double number there. Here is my stats and everything as usual. We left off at 1364. Don't really have too many immediate level goals. I do want to get my cooking up a little bit. My agility is really close to a level as well. But we do have some more big quests in the pipeline. We got a couple really good ones done, but we still have a few more to do. We are, however, going to start off on some rune crafting. Guardians of the Rift is my choice. It's pretty close to a pretty good rune to make at level 54, so I do want to grab that. Level 53 there. But on the way, I did hit I believe, the reward points cap of 50, so this will be the first time I get to do it. Who is Tobibi here? Thank you for joining some random world to watch me loot my Guardians of the Rift points for the first time. All 50 of them. And he starts kind of tweaking down there. I don't know what he's doing. He can't stand still. He's excited, apparently. There's my first collection log, though. We get some Abyssal Pearls, which was hopefully expected within 50 loots, but grab the large pouch there, and then immediately followed up by the giant pouch. So now I have all of the pouches. I just need to get the Abyssal Needle, and then I can combine them into the Colossal pouch, but I do know a lot of people go really dry on the needle. My friend got it on loot 13 or something like that. She's gotten basically everything except the pet at this point from the rewards table, and she's only done maybe 60 or 70 loots. She's been quite lucky, but pretty much all of the talismans are useless, especially on a main account. The Abyssal Ashes was kind of random too, but kind of just looking for any of the good catalytic runes. We got another collection log there, the intricate pouch. That is the one thing my friend hasn't got, is the talisman to teleport back here, and I know you do get those from the pouch. So I was giving her a hard time saying maybe I'll get it here before you, but spoiler alert, I did not get it. Did seem to get almost one of every type of rune though, so the water runes and the nature runes are quite nice. Those nature runes actually will last me quite a long time. All of the elemental runes, except for earth, surprisingly, open the intricate pouch, and there are some astrals and one of the runes I was missing, so nice haul. Not anything super special to write home about, but 270k. We're not here to make money. We're just here for the collection logs and to get some good runes, so not too bad. Continuing on with the leveling, though, grabbing all these free fire runes. Thank you, people who drop your runes. Continue to do so. I will gladly pick them up if I have space. But at the end of this game here, I should get the level right before I get to turn in my own points. But 54 rune crafting coming in. That is quite lovely, because that allows us to start crafting law runes. Makes the minigame itself a lot easier, and then I do have an infinite source of law runes now, so exciting there. We are not done with this cave horror grind either. We have been down here for, I think, a couple weeks now. Not straight, just on and off, but there we are with kill 1000. Still no black mask. I've gotten a lot of range levels, made a lot of money through all the fletching and everything down here. Speaking of money making, though, we are back to Barrows. I'm enjoying. I want to do Barrows just all day. It's such a fun mini game or boss to me. But there's our second chest. Didn't get anything. Kind of an average chest there. The blood runes are great. Death runes would be good too because that is what we were using. There's a really bad chest though. Mind and chaos only. We've been killing 2 skeletons and 1 bloodworm as like our loot potential bonus. Is there a better combination of things to kill? I know you're supposed to get as close to 88% as you can, and we get to like 86 or like 83.36 or something like that. If there's a better combination of what to kill down in the crypt, do let me know. I feel like every time I try to look it up, it's a different answer. Doing some Temporos for the first time ever, though, it's actually a pretty intuitive minigame. Like, you just kind of follow the people and do what they did, and then after a while, you know what you're doing. But level 51 fishing coming in. I know there is a, like, firefighter method to maximize points, but I'm kind of there for the EXP. But we will be doing a bit more of that as well. 65 range coming in. Lost the clip for it, so you get the screenshot. And then to prove it, I do still have the message and everything in chat. There we go. It didn't unlock anything cool, but the fact that we've gotten so many range levels down here, and this is why I chose to range and save spot it down here, because I knew I would need this EXP at some point anyways. But, you know, it's maybe time to move up from mithril arrows for long grinds like this. They just aren't working. And unfortunately, there we are. 1,024 kills. We are officially double the drop rate for a black mask. Still have not received one. I was like Googling it. Points like, is there a reason I haven't gotten a mask? Is there another quest I need to do? Can this first one not drop it? You know, 69 HP coming in. Does the level 69 give us some good luck on the kill? And it does not. Nature runes, I'm not going to complain about though. So, you know, and while we're down here fletching our headless arrows in between every single kill, we do get another fletching level, so there we go. I'm sorry about that car honking out there. Level 77 fletching coming in. We can make rune javelins and rune brutal arrows. I doubt I will ever make any of those unless there is a diary that requires them for some reason. Back to Barrows though. We were trying to do at least 3 Barrows chests every time we get to play together, but after a while we just started doing more of them because they're fun. A guy named More Roach Task. There's a lot of people doing Barrows in whatever world we do. That was a funny name, though. But slightly valuable chest there. You know, we got the Chaos, the Blood, and the Death Runes. That's what we're looking for. Still not sure if we're fighting the right things. Level 66 magic coming in. You do get EXP while you're doing these, so it's not all a waste of time. 7 chests in. Got some Blood Runes, but not the most valuable chest there. Taking a quick little break, though, we are going to move on to another quest. We have been grinding out this quest line a little bit, but speaking with Islawin here, we are going to get started on the Roving Elves quest, and this is, I mean, aside from Song of the Elves at this point, like, this is the end of the Elves quest to me. Like, getting your crystal seed for either the bow or the shield just was always such a, like, a cool looking item. The crystal bow just looked so elite way back in the day when it first came out. Like, there's no string on it, it doesn't shoot arrows, it's magic coated arrows in the animation. Like, just like, it was almost like the same thought that new players had seeing people cast like ancient spells in like Castle Wars. Seeing someone using a crystal bow in Castle Wars, you were like, oh my god, they're such a high level, even if they really weren't. But it was just like a status symbol almost. But basically, they're like, you're a human, we don't trust you. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of get that. And they're like, but if you really want to help us, go do this. You need to get a consecration seed, and you need to bless the backstory in Falls, Glariel's tomb, and everything like that. So you got to come kill a Moss Guardian here, but you have to use your bare hands. As far as I know, you could probably fletch a Draymond staff or something, but you go punch it to death. It can hit through prayer, apparently, but it is what it is. You bring the seed back to Elend, and she casts her spell, and she like blesses it because it's like a dead crystal, basically. And then you bring this back to where you finish the waterfall quest down here in the tomb, and you just plant it anywhere in here. And it grows a little crystal tree for a second. It looks really cool, actually. I'm surprised there's not more with that, like in the player-owned housing or anything like that. And then it teleports away. And that's basically all it is. Very short quest. For how long, like, Regicide and Underground Pass and everything are, Roving Elves being such a short one is it's a pretty nice, like, I would say, like, stopping point, because it was kind of like a stopping point in the questline for so long, but now we have all the Morning's End and everything like that. But the shield is cheaper to fix and use, and I know there is kind of a tactic where you just get the shield and you let it break and fix it a bunch until after 5 times, and then you get the bow, so then the bow is cheaper. But I don't care. I'm just going to get the bow. It costs 900k to fix it the first time, and that's kind of a steep fix, but 1 quest point. 10,000 strength EXP. Not too sure why we get strength EXP in this quest, but you can choose the bow or the shield. My friend also chose the bow just because I did, and it's just iconic. It looks way too cool not to. And then after you do Regicide, you come over here and you speak to Isloin again, and you just want to start Morning's End Part 1. You don't have to do it right away, but if you start it and you get teleported into Lightia, you get the teleport seed there, and that's kind of what you do this for, is you get the crystal teleport seed. I don't exactly know how to, like, recharge it. I think it has to be completely empty to fix it in this game, but I could be wrong there. Back to Temperos, 52 fishing coming in. I think we are trying to get to 53 fishing and cooking. Well, just 53 cooking technically, but you might as well get your own fish for it. Unlike Guardians of the Rift, I am also just going to do my looting kind of after each session here. My friend was getting a little annoyed that I never do any of my looting until it stacks up a bunch, because she does it after every one, but getting a couple nice things here. We do get Soaked Page, so that is a collection lock here. We did get one of the caskets. I mean, as always, I'm looking for the fishing barrel. Like, that'll help with, like, Karambwans and stuff later on, but we only had, like, 6 things to loot. Opening up the casket, do I get anything good? Honestly, Emerald Rings, I mean, I'm not an Iron Man, but that's not bad. We're using the Ferox Enclave teleport after Burrows, so I'll take a few more of them. 53 fishing coming in here as well. This is honestly a really fun minigame, too. I'm really enjoying it. Like, this makes training skills, all of the mini-games, the Giant's Foundry, Wintertop we haven't got to, Guardians of the Rift, like, even if they're not the best EXP, even though I think Guardians of the Rift is pretty close, I think they're just such an enjoyable way of training skills. I'm really enjoying them for now. 51 cooking sliding in there as well. Pretty embarrassing to say, but again, I kind of forgot that the cooking gauntlets only work with like 5 different types of fish. Like, I got them and I've been cooking like trout and salmon and I'm still burning stuff, and my friend was like, these don't even work on half this fish, and I was like, what are you talking about? It completely like escaped my mind that the cooking, I haven't used them in so long, but they really only benefit you when cooking. Like, I think it's like 5 or 6 now. I think they added a couple more on old school, but it's not just all cooking that you do is benefited from the cooking gauntlets, and I think that's kind of silly at this point, but 52 and everything sliding in there as well. As we go back to Barrows, we're up to 8 chests, 40k. As long as we're getting some blood runes, we're doing pretty good. It's not the end of the world if we don't get anything, but we do try to sit here and loot it at the same time. There we go. 145 death runes kind of makes up for all of the casts that you use in the actual fights themselves. There we go. We get a task complete. Barrows Novice. That is just complete 10 Barrows trips. No death runes, so a little unfortunate. The mind runes are insane, but they're so worthless. It's actually kind of funny. I wish Slayer Dart was a thing, and there we go. My first Barrows item on chest 11. We do get Aram's Robe Bottom. What a beautiful one to get to. 2 million right there. We can't even use it because we don't have the defense level, but I won the race to the very first Barrows item, and I did get some bolt racks because I went up above 90% on accident. But that was quite huge. I was pretty excited about that. My friend, unfortunately, is still dry, but, you know, we're still going. The excitement of every Barrows chest could have something is just, it makes it so much fun to me. And now that I got the Aram's drop luck, I was like, you know what, I might as well go back and do some Cave Horrors because it's taking a long time. And there we finally go. 1,184 kills to get the Black Mask. Oh my god, was it nice to see that. The the orange text there. Finally, 1.25 mil. I don't know if this is like expensive or not right now. Maybe they're expensive because no one can get a drop because they just don't seem to work. But wow, just a bit over 2 times the drop rate, and we finally get the black mask. I am so glad to be out of here. But it was kind of an enjoyable one anyways, because I didn't do it all at once. It wasn't really that bad of a grind. I might, if I get Slayer tasks for it, I might go ahead and do them anyways. Who knows, I might grab another one and make some more black masks with the different recolorings and stuff, or the Slayer helms with the recolorings. Try to show it off here, but I choose like the potentially the worst place in the game to try to get a straight angle to show off the black mask. There's just so much shit everywhere. Trees and stuff. And then I finally find an angle and I get photo bombed by a fairy with an axe over there. But the Slayer helm, very cool looking helm. I am excited to be able to recolor it in the future though. I do think that's a cool add-on in this game. And with my new Slayer helm, not that it helps me with this task, I've had a DK's task for a while, and I figured I'd come down and try to start AFKing some Dagonoth Rex, just, you know, in the off chance that maybe I can spoon a Berserker Ring or something at some point. It is not the easiest thing, especially for my level. Like, I take so much damage. I can only get, like, anywhere from, like, 6 to 10 kills in a trip. That seems to be what I've been getting. But the bones are worth quite a lot. I'm almost glad that the hide isn't worth anything, because then you don't have to pick it up. If there is a reason to pick it up, though, do let me know, and I will start grabbing them as well somehow, and just making shorter trips. But yeah, the spinal lips, I don't know if they've been changed. I remember you're supposed to wear just full armor down here, because the spinal lips attack with ranged and magic-based ranged, and then Dagonoth Rex has such a low magic defense that you hit anyways. But I feel like I looked up something where it's like the spine lips now, you want magic defense? You want to wear range gear? If there's been a change where the spine lips hit harder on armor now and you want magic defense instead, also let me know that. I would willingly start bringing like mixed hide or something down here instead, but I feel like the spinal lips were just destroying me. Tears of Guthix didn't go too well, but we do get a nice 9,000 Herblore EXP, level 51. That does mean, though, I need to level up all my other skills above 51 so I can continue to get Herblore EXP. But it is an ever-going project of keeping Herblore my lowest skill, but also wanting to level it. 13 chests in, nothing special there. And we're still going. The skeletons down here destroy me. I take more damage from the skeletons in the crypt, or like the spiders, than I do any of the Barrows brothers ever. But again, it's always bumping down here. I love how, like, many people you can see down here. There we go, though. I did do 2 medium tasks in one trip. I did Can't Touch Me, so none of the 4 melee brothers can ever get an attack off on you. I just ran around the coffins in each room. And then the Pray for Success, you take 0 damage from any of the brothers. You just use the correct prayer every time you need to. Pretty cool to get both of them done in the same trip, too. That was kind of a goal after I got that first item. I was like, you know what, I might start trying to go for some of these, and it only took a couple attempts. Just had to get the correct brother as a tunnel. I got Carol's as a tunnel, so it was actually quite nice. As soon as he showed up, you just drink prayer, turn on protect from range, and I was good to go. But you know, we got Roving Elves done, and it turns out Morning's End Part 1 isn't exactly a long quest, so I figured we might as well do it. We both have a pretty high agility level too, so Morning's End Part 2 isn't exactly a nightmare of a concept. I know it like recommends like higher 70s if anything, but that may be something that we slowly work towards. Quests like this though, where you have to have like 400 different items, I kind of wish the Quest Helper plugin was more like the wiki, and where it told you what items you need at what point, because having no inventory space is kind of a nightmare. But it's always just like, oh, here's everything you need. I guess you might be able to scroll down or something like that, but I kind of wish it was just like, all right, in this portion you only need these items or whatever. You get the Mourner's outfit, you get like the soap, you bring the Mourner's outfit back to Letya, you get it like tailored, fixed, and clean, because there was like blood on it because you killed someone. You go down into the Mourner's hideout in West Arty, you're speaking with Esselt here, and now we gotta go torture a gnome, but you don't really torture him because he's already been tortured, and then he just willingly tells you what you need to do to make him talk. But He basically likes gnome crunchies, and he hates being tickled on the feet. So you give him some toad crunchies, gnome crunchies, toad crunchies, one or the other, toad crunchies. And then you use a feather on his foot, and he's like, blah, 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 and he tells you, he gives you the weapon, and he fixes it up, and he's like, you gotta go shoot frogs. So this is what you need the dye for. You gotta fill up the ogre bellows with the dye, and then you inflate the frogs, and then boom, 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 boom. You shoot all 4 of the different colored sheep from... These sheep are used in so many quests. It's actually kind of insane. But yeah, you can absolutely miss those shots, and if you do, you have to go get another frog and dye it and everything, and it's kind of a mess, so take the time, make sure the shots hit. You don't want to have to do it. You come back, you basically say, hey, I've shot all of them. We're moving on with the plan of poisoning all of Artie, basically. And so we have to, like, create this, like, specific poison, and then we're going to poison food supply in West Artie. You know, sometimes you got to be the bad guy to stay undercover. Very fun animation here. Watch me stomp around. Blah, blah, blah. Such a funny animation. Like, with the cannon in my hand still. Like, this thing looks so heavy. And yet I'm over here just stomping around like it's nothing. Use the barrel of naphtha that we made during regicide. That's what you make the extra one for. You add all the stuff to it. And then you have to cook it at a range. I didn't have any idea that this was like a mahogany house. I was like, why do I have to pick lock the door to get in here? It was a total waste of time, but I was like, what other range is there anywhere near? There was one next to the bank I could have just used. But you cook it down and you get these powders, and you have to use the powders on the like grain or food supplies in West Artie, on 2 of them, to basically poison the people. You gotta love it. Or at least make them think they're poisoned. I think that was kind of the whole point of it, is like, oh, someone used a rotten tomato in the mourner's food and they all got sick symptoms or something. And so you're like, oh, we're putting out a fake plague. We got to keep it up. And then he's like, good job. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I guess I got to go back to Arianwen and let her know what happened. They saw some temple underneath Artie, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, the Temple of Light. Saren built it herself. They must be going there. Because that's what you do in Morning's End Part 2. Spoiler alert, but... There we go, Morning's End Part 1, complete 2 quest points. 40,000 thieving EXP is absolutely nuts for that quest. And 25,000 hit points is no joke either. But, yeah, for very little thieving in that quest, I think the only thieving I did was opening the door to that person's house to use their range. Huge EXP drop. And then it does automatically want to start Morning's End Part 2. But I was like, am I supposed to be doing this right now? We have the stats for it, but... I don't want to exactly start it. Clicking on it though, there's the level from all that EXP. Jumped all the way up to 55 thieving, kind of a huge jump, 52 to 55. And I'm just shy of 56, so I might even go snag that at some point. Because that is very close. Thieving and agility are both very, very close. I've also been forgetting the Rogue's Den. We started it and then we haven't been back. That is definitely something that I need to go start on again. And then, there we go, 56 thieving. I was like, it's too close to just leave hanging there, so we definitely got to do that. Do I unlock anything at 56? I don't believe so, but that is going to be where I go ahead and call it an episode for today. Quite a lot more progress again. 2 really important quests. We've done now Underground Pass all the way up through Morning's End Part 1 in the last couple episodes. Very iconic quests. Some people love them, some people hate them. I'm all for it. I love the Elven quest line. And then a lot of really good levels as well. But we're kind of just making our way through, slowly trying to get some recipe for disaster requirements knocked out. But thank you guys all very much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying the series still, and I hope to see you all back in another one. Until then, take care. Peace.